Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 3 English lesson on subject verb agreement. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username and our password, then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts, grade 3, and then scroll down up until we get to the chapter of subject-verb agreement. All right. So as we said, our chapter is subject-verb agreement. Our subject is English Language Arts. Grade 3. And the lesson that we are going to focus on under the chapter of subject-verb agreement is the subject singular or plural? All right. So when it comes to subject-verb agreement, right, the subject needs to agree with the verb, right? And when we say the subject need to agree with the verb, we have singular subjects and we have plural subjects. Singular subjects, it tells us that there is basically only one person, animal, place, or thing that we're making mention of. And when we talk about singular, right, especially when we make mention of a noun, remember we said a noun, it names a person, it names an animal, a place, or a thing. So singular nouns or singular subjects, right, it names only one person, one animal, one place, one thing. So when a subject is singular, right, which means that it names only one person, one animal, one place, one thing. So when a subject is singular, then it means that we need to use a singular verb. And that is why we say that our subject needs to agree with our verb. So when a subject is singular, then we need to agree with our singular verb. And when it comes to singular verbs, right? Singular verbs, it ends in s, es, or it ends in ies. And if we look at an example, right, of a singular subject with a singular verb, it says, Sarah visits her grandma. Sarah visits her grandmother. So Sarah is one person. So that's a singular subject. So visits, it ends with an S because it is a singular verb. Singular subject with a singular verb that ends with an S. And if you look at another example, right, and then the example says, my cat washes her paws. So my cat washes her paws, meaning that we're referring to one cat that washes her paw. And then we also have plural subjects. And plural, it names more than one person, more than one animal, more than one place, or more than one thing. And when a subject is plural, and then we need to use a plural verb. And when a subject, when we use a, let's say when a subject is plural, we use a plural verb, then it means that the plural verbs, they usually do not end in s, es, or ies. And if we look at an example, right, of plural subjects and plural verbs, and now our plural subject with our plural verb, it means Kyle and Jesse walk home. So Kyle and Jesse, it means that there's two people. So we say they walk home. No is, no is, no I is. And the flowers, we refer to more than one flower. The flowers grow in the garden. And it means that grow is our verb without the s, without the es, or without ies, because it means that our verb agrees with our subject. So this is basically our this is subject verb agreement where we have singular subject and plural subjects. We said with singular subjects, right? Singular subjects names one person, one animal, one place, or a thing. And our singular subject, right? It uses a singular verb where we add is, es, or ies. And then we said that when we have a plural subject refers to more than one person, animal, place, or thing. And when we have a plural subject, or when our subject is plural, and then we use a plural verb. And it means that we do not or it does not end with an s, es, or ies. All right. So now we're going to a+students.ca, where we are going to look at more examples of singular subjects as well as plural subjects, right? And we're going to say is a subject singular or if it is plural, if it refers to one person or if it refers to more than one person. So let's go to a+students.ca and we're going to the first lesson, which is the sentence or is a subject singular or plural? All right. So we said singular subjects, it names one person, animal, place, or thing. And when we have a singular subject, we use a singular verb which ends in s, es, or ies. And then we have a plural subject. Plural subjects names more than one person, animal, place, or thing. And when a subject is plural, we use a plural verb which does not end with s, es, or ies. All right, so now we're going to look at our examples. We need to look at the underlined word and we need to say if it is a singular, if it's singular or if it's plural. Remember, singular refers to only one person, animal, place, or thing, and plural refers to more than one person, more than one animal, place, or thing. All right. So we need to say is it singular or if it's plural. Mr. and Mrs. Wilkinson. So Mr. and Mrs. Wilkinson plan a pool party every year. Mr. and Mrs. Wilkinson plan a pool party every year. If we look at the underlying subject, is the underlying subject, is it singular or is it plural? And it, especially our verb says plan. So Mr. and Mrs. Wilkinson plan a pool party every year. Is that singular or is it a plural subject? Mr. and Mrs. Wilkinson. All right. And if we were to say if it is singular or if it's plural, and then if we were to look at the subjects, Mr. and Mrs. Wilkinson, and then we say that the subject is plural because it refers to more than one person, right? So it's plural because it refers to more than one person. And our verb plan, it does not end with an is. Miss Conway coaches the girls' soccer team at our school. Miss Conway, is that a singular subject or is it a plural subject? Miss Conway. So Miss Conway, is it singular or is it plural? And if we were to either say if it is singular or if it's a plural noun or subject, then we would say Miss Conway is singular because it refers to one person that we are making mention of. And then the next one says, my parent peek in on my brother, on my baby brother. So my parents refers to more than one parent. So we can say this is plural because it's parents. It refers to more than one parent. They peek in on my baby brother. All right, so now we're going to our test, right? Where we are going to say if the subject is either singular or if the subject is plural. So we need to say if the subject is singular or if the subject is plural. It says, look at the underlined word. Dad and I share a small pizza for lunch. Dad and I, is that plural? or is it singular? All right. And if we were to choose the correct, if it's either singular or plural, then yes, we will choose option one. Plural, because we are saying it's dad and I, it's me and my dad. So plural. So well done. Option one is correct. Plural is correct. The next one says the train arrives at the station in 20 minutes. So the train, is it singular or is it plural? The train arrives at the station in 20 minutes. So the train, and if we were to say if it is either singular or plural, and then yes, we can say it is singular because we're only making mention of one train. So the train, which is one train, which is singular. So well done. Singular is correct. The teachers order books and games online. Teachers order books and games online. So the teachers, is it singular or is it plural? So the teachers, is it singular or is it plural? Yes, so we would say then the teachers because we're referring to more than one teacher. So we can say it is plural. Option two is correct. Plural because we are making mention of more than one teacher that orders books online. Dad adds extra sugar to the cake batter. Dad adds extra sugar to the cake batter. So dad, is that singular because we're referring to one person, or is it plural? Dad, is that singular or plural? All right. And if we were to say if it is singular or plural, then yes, we would say it is option one, which is singular, because dad refers to only one person. So well done. Dad is correct. Logan makes apple bars for the bake sale. So Logan makes apple bars for the cake sale. So Logan, is Logan singular or is Logan plural? All right. And if we were to choose the correct, if it's either singular referring to one person or plural referring to more than one person, then we would say Logan is singular because it refers to one person only. So well done. All right, so now we're going to the next lesson, which is to use the correct subject or verb. We need to use the correct subject or verb. All right. So now we're going to use the correct subject or the verb within the sentence. Year number one says we need to complete the sentence with the best subject. And remember, we said we have plural subjects and we have singular subjects, right? If we have a singular subject, then we need to have a singular verb which ends in s, es, or ies. If we have a plural subject, right, which refers to more than one person, animal, or thing, and then it needs to agree with the verb and our plural verb, it does not end with s, es, or ies. All right. So now, if we look at the first one, it says bend wire into circles for necklaces. So bend. So do we say the girl bend, or do we say the girls bend? Which one is correct? Do we say the girl bend wire into circles for necklaces, or do we say the girls bend wire into circles for necklaces? So we need to say if it is the girl bend wire into circles for necklace, or do we say the girls bend wire into circles for necklace? Which subject is correct? The girl or the girls? And if we were to choose the correct subject, especially if we look at this word bend, it does not end with an S, es or ies. So we can say the girls bend wire into circles for necklaces, meaning that's more than one person. So we need to look at our verb and see if our verb is in agreement with either it being singular or plural. So the girls is correct. All right, and then here we're just gonna say my dad coaches, meaning it's one person that coaches. And then the last one, the boys. Do we say the boys grab or do we say the boys grabs a quick lunch before baseball practice? All right, and if we were to choose the correct one, we would say the boys grab. Only grab, not grabs, grab a quick lunch before baseball practice. All right, so now let's go to our test where we are going to choose or use the correct subject or verb. All right, so we're going to use the correct subject or verb, and that is to complete the sentence. It says complete the sentence with the base verb. Sasha and. Sasha and. Do we say draw pictures in art class? All right, then if we were to choose the correct answer, then yes, since it is referring to more than one person, right? We can say Sasha and Anne draw pictures in art class. Well done. Mrs. McGee. So Mrs. McGee, do we say Mrs. McGee arrange many fun events at school or arranges many fun events at school? All right, and it says if we complete the sentence with the base verb, then Mrs. McGee. Yes, we can say Mrs. McGee arranges. Well done. Arranges many fun events at school. So well done. Because remember, it ends with an S or ES or IS. Do we say the girls bend wire into circles for necklaces? All right. So do we say the girls or do we say Bella bend wire into circles for necklaces? All right. So we can then say the girls, referring to more than one person that bend wire into circles for necklace. All right, let's look at the next one. Do we say my dad coaches Derek's basketball team, or do we say Mr. and Mrs. coaches Derek's basketball team? Which one is correct? All right, and if we were to choose the correct one, we can say my dad, referring to one person, coaches Derek's basketball team. So well done. Option one is correct. The visitors. Visitors. Do we say the visitors listen carefully to the guide, or do we say the visitors listens carefully to the guides? All right, so we can say the visitors. Remember, we are talking about more than one visitor, right? So it means that it's a plural. So we can say the visitors, they listen. Because remember, we said if we have a plural subject, and then we need to have a plural verb that does not end with an S, ES, or IES. So we say the visitors listen carefully to the guide. All right. So that is now the end of our lesson on subject verb agreement. Thank you very much, grade threes, for joining the class. We said that our subject needs to agree with our verb. If we have a singular subject, then we need to have a singular verb that ends with S, ES, or IES. If you have a plural subject, it needs to agree with the plural verb, and then it means that it does not end with an S, ES, or IES. All right, so this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade three. I really hope that you're going to have a good day further. So till next time, goodbye.